All right, traders, we're back on a Monday. I was off most of the weekend. You guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, you follow me outside of here, I'm doing hiking adventure tours. I'm also doing dolphin tours. I'm busy and I have a social life around this, and I'm really liking my life. My YouTube's doing well, both of my YouTube channels. And yeah, I was relying on trading the last couple years, and I'm no longer. And it's a huge it's a huge relief, and I just want to spend less time doing it. It's something that can be quite stressful and has absorbed a lot of my time in the past. I'm really happy with my life where I don't really need it, and I can use it to try to enhance my wealth rather than um, whatever. So I have had a limit order set at 62,200 for a while now. Oh, a couple things before I get into it. First, I I'm um my trading rules. One is always use a stop. Two, never risk the whole account. And three is always risk. Or the third is limit entries only, except for market timing pro entries. And the fourth is I'm gonna try to just limit only for my exits because I'm trying to reduce impulsive trades entirely. So those are the rules. As of right now, where are we? I had a limit order set for $62,300. I was actually 62,304, and price came $36 for my entry and rocketed up. And right here, I was feeling some pretty intense FOMO. For now, I'm glad I didn't enter because that was right in this range, and price has gone up, and it's lower than where my entry would have been. And I haven't got into the charts. We need to check the charts and see what's going on. But I haven't been filled with price coming down here. Oh, this was after. I still have my limit order. We're gonna get into it, but I'm still have been thinking new all-time highs, but I'm flexible. So let's take a look. Gold pushing all-time highs. US 100 unmoved. 200 down. Okay, the stock market's hasn't really moved too much. It's up just a small amount. So before we go under the hood, Bitcoin, I mean, it's not really the most, it's not a FOMO-inducing daily candle. I mean, if anything, with the rounding here, failure to go forward, we could possibly pull back into some of these daily fair value gaps. There's a couple areas of interest lower for limit orders. So I'm happy to see that and feel a little bit less FOMO, although I'm still expecting new all-time highs, but maybe not in just 1 or 2 days. Maybe it happens a little bit slowly. Bitcoin dominance is down. ETH dominance continues to go up. ETH looks really good. Solana, okay, showing a little weakness. BNB has a breakout, interesting. We want to see if it holds though. But BNB has taken the previous month's highs, which is super interesting. And I mean, the next target would be an all-time high, right? So if it fails here, it fails. But if it succeeds, it might be interesting to trade for a bid to all-time highs. So that's something I'm going to have on my watch list here. Possibly trade, come back at the close. So ETH, on the other hand, did have a successful breakout, whereas Bitcoin failed. And one of the reasons I want to do limit orders is because I actually entered in here. I saw a weekly sweep with a fair value gap is a great place to enter. And I just closed after a small move. I had an insane entry. And I had 30 ETH. And what if I was still holding? It's up 400 points, so $12,000. But it's all good. I don't really need money to make my life better. It's more about building discipline, emotional awareness, and protecting what I do have. So another one of the things I was looking at is look, this trend line breakout, but we got to go under the hood and see. Okay, the price has been moving up, but is now a good time? Total three others, XRP. I want to see them on the daily. And I had some of these on my watch list. Jesus, Tau is absolutely flying. Sui, Popcat. Sigh, okay. So now we're gonna go under the hood and look at order flow because this is really important for me. I want to know what's driving the market. Is it futures? Is it spot? How are traders positioned? Um, how are how have they been positioned? Um, this is really important to me. So let's get into it. Okay. So one thing I'll note is last night we see something that's happening. Okay, well, let's look at ETH. So what has been leading this rally? Actually, from here, from this pullback, spot stepped in and has just been buying, or at least the trend has been reversing from selling to buying pressure. Futures have been participating as well, but it's been increasingly more buy pressure. Um, that's causing a lot of shorts to get stopped. But look, we saw funding get pretty low in this range, showing a nice balance. And that was a sign of maybe price going a little bit higher. We see open interest has been climbing, so that's gonna increase the possibility of a lot of volatility. And we know that that's actually because funding is up, that there's probably a lot of longs in here, but it's not crazy. I mean, we're still under uh, ETH open interest is significantly lower than it's been when it was near the yearly highs, so it could go higher. If we go to a lower time frame and we see where we are now, I don't I really don't feel the need to chase here as we have um, it's not a bearish setup by any means, but it's also not like impending breakout feeling. I think that it's probably okay to try to bid lower. Then let's look at Bitcoin. And one of the things we see is for Bitcoin, um, as funding has kind of increased in this range actually, and open interest also has increased. It's not the most bullish sign, so I'm happy to try to bid lower. And we see also the funding rate of the whole space is pretty high. So I'm okay uh, keeping my bids lower for now, especially considering now we go to the chart. What do we have on the chart? Well, we have our first red day after 6 straight green days. And what do we also have on the chart? Is we have a weekly sweep on Bitcoin and on total 3 and on total and on others. So I'm not calling a major top here, but it does look like a place where price might pull back somewhat, right? We also see what this is our first so far failed breakout of this whole thing, right? Let's go back. Let's drop to a lower time frame here. Okay, so we have a range. I mean, possibly our first failed breakout, right? This one we kind of ended up consolidating higher, but we never came down into this, right? Once we broke above it, we came back into the area for a short time. Well, I guess it kind of appears to have failed a couple times, but having spent a lot of time here, I for sure have the idea now that we can, at the minimum, come down here. So I'm kind of interested in actually lowering my bids. Um, we don't appear to have really created any fair value gaps on the bearish side of things. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm not interested in shorts. I'm interested in lowering my bids though. Potentially, let's look. Funding looks pretty hot across the board on everything, right? Okay. So I also, before we come back to Bitcoin, but my idea is to maybe put my limit order down here. I would say that the area I'm most interested in is price actually coming all the way back down to 56. It could happen, but this looks like it could be a great place to buy. Not that interested in this area, but maybe. I want to take a look at what else has popped off, see if anything. Um, let's just look at the day. I want to see what maybe has hit uh, a level and is tradable. Okay, near Celestia Ave. Celestia was one that I was like, this looks like it's gonna go higher. Okay, near is interesting. We are seeing more breakouts work, but I usually don't like to trade the first breakouts anyways. No surprise to me, Celestia's up because, wow, Celestia looks kind of, yeah. Just the way the funding was. Already looked at PopCat, R&DR, World, Stacks. I mean, there's so many to look at. R&DR. Uh, no. STX. Okay, we have a number. Are these going to be breakouts or are they going to be failures? So I know that on average, just selling here is good. However, I feel that if I look under the hood, I'm going to have a greatly improved chance. That's crazy. Look that alone. This is just a clean breakout. I mean, a lot of them are having clean breakouts, so I don't really want to throw money away. So those are some of them, but there's so many that are getting there. BNB's one, Beam, Wormhole, QNT, Jasmine. Let's look. And I'm gonna pick these and I'm gonna go under the hood and look, see if any of them have order flow that makes me think. And that can also give me a better idea of the market as a whole. And then when I go back to Bitcoin and set my limit orders, it can be helpful. But we're seeing random coins having working breakouts. So what here is up the most? Arkham, Mu, seeing what is setting up. Okay. These I would want to come back at 2. No. Alt, LPT. Yo, Baby Doge is going crazy. Alt hit. So we have a lot of possible ones to look at. Alt, LPT, AXL. They're all correlated though, so I want to be really careful. LPT, AXL, Prime. No. I'm just looking for ones that are hitting a monthly high. I know from, I don't have this one. I know from computer back testing that there is uh, edge in selling these at failures of the highs. And also just seeing that a lot of them are there. I don't have Mog, is can be a sign that the market's getting overheated. Super. So, okay, let's go ahead. But we've been in a downtrend for so long that it looks like a breakout, right? So I want to be very careful, and part of it is I'm going to look and see. And I bet you a lot of these that look like possible shorts are not if we go under the hood. Because what I want to see, I want to see specific things, right? I want to see um yeah, I mean others is also alts are breaking out too. What do I want to see? It's just not the time to short necessarily, but I want to see massive divergence where perp is leading the rally while spot has been distributing. So let's go and take a look at our candidates. Tau is not a candidate, but I'm just curious for my own pattern recognition. Let's look at Tau. I want to see the funding rate being positive. I want to see um, futures and spot selling off. Sorry, futures buying, spot selling off. So this one actually could possibly be a candidate because funding is positive and spot futures is buying and spot has been selling off somewhat. However, this is not a tradable. This is not tradable because it's not in the right place on the chart. So let's leave that alone. Same thing with SUI. SUI is also not tradable, but I just want to see what it looks like for my own pattern recognition, and then we're going to come back to Bitcoin and decide what to do here. But here we see looks okay. I mean, I want to see like a greater divergence here that's gone on for a longer time, but funding is positive. Open interest is absolutely jacked. There's reason to think that this thing is going to come back, but it's not the right setup for me on the chart itself. So we got to leave that alone. SEI is maybe tradable actually. We're seeing this first fair value gap. I'm just noting that this move from here to here was pretty efficient, but this one is actually maybe tradable. Well, it is tradable in terms of the chart, but we need to see. No, I cannot do it because the funding's negative. So we get to be really picky. Oops. Right, we're interested in shorts because of where it is on the chart, but we see actually futures have been selling and the traders are net short here, and spot's been kind of sideways. So what that means is possibility of a short squeeze. So this is just not a great one to do. Now we'll look at near, which near is ideally I would want to see a big wick on any time frame, which looks okay right here actually. Let's go ahead and take a look at near. Okay, we're saying funding is hugely positive. That's the first good sign. Now we need to see sell off on spot, which we're not seeing, so it doesn't seem like the one to do. It's close, yeah, because also futures, we're seeing declining pressure, if anything. So this is really a spot driven, and what that means is, although there is a 70 million increase in open interest, but what we really want to see is this futures line is steeper up and this spot line is pointing down. So based on that, um, it's this one's borderline because it's like such a great place to enter on the chart. It's so close, right? But we'll come back to it. I want to see if there's something that's better. Aave isn't tradable, but I want to look at it just for pattern recognition. I'm curious. Where funding is positive. It might be worth doing Aave with smaller size, but here we're saying this is what it looks like when spot is participating, and you do have a big increase in open interest. These markets are getting hot though. We'll come back to it. Let's look at stacks. Stacks looks almost the same as near on the chart itself, so maybe it'll look better under the hood though. No, because it has the same issue here. Well, there was a huge increase in open interest, man. I went from 37 to 65. So it could definitely get cleared out. Spot's buying, but man, yeah, the funding rate looks um that one's kind of tempting. IMX not tradable. Arkham so far isn't, but might change. I have a problem also that it's 3 hours until the close. No, this isn't tradable. It's 3 hours until the close, so the signal could change. But no, there's a huge increase in shorts here, right? From here to here, this open interest is in shorts. So this one is one we would want to leave alone or even actually long. I don't have a model to long this thing, but I'm just going to put on my chart expecting higher prices because of funding short float. And then we'll come back and look. Alt. I mean, yes, we're closing at under this monthly, but that wasn't like a swing high or anything. So it's less powerful, but let's go ahead and look at alt. But in general, what we're seeing is spot coming in. Yeah, it doesn't look quite right. Yeah, look at that. Funding kind of negative, so there's short float here, and this move is caused by people coming in and buying spot. So the only ones that are even I could even consider are near and stacks, which are interesting, and I think I might maybe want to try near. And I would cut it at a loss if it closed higher. I would target just right here, something like this. Let's go back to near. It's just a bad place to be short in the market in general, but I don't really like that spot hasn't sold, but um, this huge increase in open interest from here to here is all futures, so it wouldn't take much for this to topple. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I'm gonna start with my stop like zero point 0.4 higher, right? So 400 divided by 0.04. And then we're gonna go back to Bitcoin, but I want to get in where we're close to it, and then I can cut it later if it's not working out. But I like how close it is. 5.156. Stacks is less interesting to me because it's been a much more efficient move up. I like that this has these pockets of air on it. So I'm allowed to market um, it with trading this system only. Uh, Stop loss 5.55. Okay, that's fine. And then I will come back around the close. And then I'm just going to aim for, if open interest wants to clear out, and see like buyers come in right here at 4.257. This is my idea. 4.256. So this is the only exception where I'm allowed to market order, and this is the market timing pro system. Okay. So do that, and then we'll go back to Bitcoin. I'm feeling significantly more cautious on Bitcoin now that price is lower. It makes me more interested in maybe trying to trade, maybe wait for lower. Let's analyze Bitcoin. I mean, we've been having increasing buy pressure. It looks super bottomy, so I want to continue to look for longs. But funding's been elevated for a while, and open interest is pretty jacked up, where it's gone to 19 billion. At the low here was at 16 billion. $3 billion of open interest added, with a lot of it being longs, is pretty dangerous. I almost want to. I'm gonna start by pulling my order. I'm not afraid, it just doesn't look as good, you know? At one point it looked really good, but the failed breakout makes me think lower is possible, especially how it looks on the daily, right? So we do have this daily gap, which might act as protection. It might not though. I kind of just want to have my limit down here for now. And if we sweep this, the failed breakout has given me serious pause here. Yeah, seeing sell-offs. I kind of want to limit lower. I mean, I like near's the one. I know I want to be a bit here. It's possible I just wait for it. It's kind of, I don't know that we'll dump 10% though. It's possible. I really don't want to bid this level that much anymore now that we had a failed breakout like that on a Monday. When did it happen? What happened at 3? This happened at yesterday at 5. There's basically been no volatility. Let's look at the liquidation. Liquidation history. Liquidation heat map. Let's look at a month. Yeah, that's the one I'm really interested in. I don't know that we can get all the way down there, but I could set my limit order there and then I know I want that. Okay. I know that I want this. Right? I've wanted this. The question is, I don't think I want this. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour is important. Do I want to bid up here? I don't know. I think I can leave it alone for now, maybe. I would lower it though. I'd look under this, like in this area, right at 62,000. And maybe look to bid here at least, maybe. I think it's okay trying to bid nearer. Like needing a 10% move down is too much. So I could go here, I could go here. I don't like this one anymore. Oh, look at that. Yo, that's crazy. Look at the volume coming in. One thing that we're seeing is volatility increase. Uh, didn't take much, right, I guess? Oh, I mean, that's pretty fucking bullish still. Let's look under the hood, see what happened. Let's look at open interest. It looks like maybe a lot of that was futures, but I mean, spot bit. I mean, it's just got bid up, but it's interesting. That was like the whole market. It's kind of crazy volatility. That said, I still like the idea of bidding lower. Okay. Yeah, we had a major liquidation. Yo, price is going crazy. What's it doing? So there's two levels. I'm gonna try the nearer one. The near can help pay for it, but it's gonna be this whole area here. I would want to try to just hold this. I still like the idea of all-time high loading. I like right in the middle one here. It should be right, yeah, right here. So 61,775. Interesting. So if it closes above this, exit unclose above yellow. I cannot, that's the only circumstance that I can exit. Okay, I'm gonna set my orders. I'm gonna have two orders. Um, I think I'm just gonna have one order at a time because again, I don't see us having a 10% decline overnight. And if we start to get closer, I'll set my order. But we can do this right here. I'm gonna stop at 60. I'm lowering it. It's saying this isn't gonna be an air gap. The whole thing is gonna hold. So let's go to Bitcoin. We're gonna limit. I'm gonna do it at 61,800. With a stop at 60,000. And I'm gonna trade one. So it's maybe more risk than I want. I'm gonna trade less than one. And then my idea is if it fills, I can do more. I maybe have another chance to add on to it. Yeah. So I'm gonna do that for now. That's it. I'm don't think I'm gonna trade ETH. At least not set limits on it. But just so I'm prepared, this would be a key level. There's only two. There's this one and this one. down here, where it's like, if we lose, right, this should be a buy, right? We should survive this. So that might be interesting to try to buy ETH in here. I might do that and try to just throw a little bit on it. Something like that. It'd be 100 on each, so just maybe like 5 ETH. And then I would target side maybe. Then I would maybe make the Bitcoin one a little bit smaller. Let's do that. So we'll go to ETH. 2517 with a stop loss at 2417. So I'm just gonna do risk 500, and then I want to target 2008.20. I want to target that high. 2820. Okay. And then I'm gonna want to go in and reduce my Bitcoin risk, because I'm risking on ETH too, so that's fine. Okay. Did it. That's my whole trading session. I am gonna come back in 2.5 hours, and if near closes over this yellow line, then I'm going to close this trade as a loss. Super weird. There's also stacks, but I like the way near looks more. It was more of an inefficient move. So we'll do it. Okay, happy trading. Much love. Peace.